from South by Southwest. Make some
Oh, wait, we also got our guest.
What up? They still allowing me to sit in here and talk that shit. This is
shit.
Transport's Dream Big Hip Hop, Paul.
Yeah. And we got a.k.a. in the building too.
Yes, sir.
Yo, make some noise, everybody over there. I actually wanted to just be quiet because there's nobody here. But we are at the Belmont. Shout out to the homie Jimmy for hooking it up. We have a special guest coming soon, but until then, we're
gonna kick it.
We kicking it
like we normally do.
So
EFN, you and Paul.
Why do you put that voice though?
What voice,
talk
bro?
Normal, man. Hey, so EFN. Ooh, EFN.
Alright.
Yo, E. Jesus. No pa tanto. Go.
Yo, you got a situation, right?
We have a situation.
Yeah.
Me and Weird Thoughts. You know when I call you Weird Thoughts?
Weird Thoughts, Icky Hood,
Dream Big Hip Hop. The guy. This. What's your other name?
Drink Champ Sports.
Drink Champ Sports.
One lega.
That's it.
That's it. So So we're here in South by Southwest in Texas. We came out here. No real reason. We came out here to just network and hang with the fatherhoods and do our thing. And so we're leaving our families, right? But then now this Boeing situation that's been going around with the crashes, the U.S. finally grounded the Boeings, and there's bad weather in the area in Texas, so our flight got canceled. So now
a day in advance.
Right, day in advance. And Paul had to get back, Icky Hood, Weird Thoughts, One Lega. He had to get back home for a date with his wife that he had planned months out in advance. Mm-hmm. I have my family, and the one thing that I wanted to pose here on the pod is like, how do we feel about us that we all, go out there and we work and we travel? How do you feel when, do you feel that guilt that, you're, letting down your family, you're not getting back to them on time, or let's just say it's not a cancellation. Maybe it's just there's opportunity to stick around somewhere out of town for opportunity. Do you feel guilty? Are you torn between seeking the opportunity or getting back quickly home to your family?
I like to say,
oh Jesus,
there's always a balance. You have your spontaneous non-emergencies that you're not in control of. Obviously, you're in control. You keep to the schedule. But your spouse knows in many trips and several trips that we do, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's never been a cancellation. It's never been due to a Boeing incident where the president grounded everything in the United States. But it's understood. They know that we can't figure it out. We're not in control of that. So it's an obstacle, but we're going to get through. I'm mad morbid. I didn't answer it.
Paul didn't answer shit, man.
I started drifting on my emotions, breaking the dates with my wife.
Talking about California drifting, we have a guest from California coming up.
Go ahead, Kay. I want to hear your side.
I definitely get the guilt feeling because, I feel like, all right, I'm here for a certain amount of time, and then I got to get back and get back into family mode. So luckily, when you sent that text, I definitely got stressed out all of a sudden, like, oh, fuck.
For yourself or for me?
Not for you.
Both. Everyone.
Like wondering if your flight was going to get delayed.
Yeah, because I just know, I knew that was stressing you out, and then I'm thinking, damn, man, is my flight now going to be, is Manny's flight, is everyone's
Well, your shit was going to go real sideways, because originally
they wanted us to 3 days out, and then the thing is, it's two of us flying, so she was like, it was funny because she was like, for some reason I can't, no flights will come up for you. And I'm like, it's two of us. She goes, it's two of you. I could have just said, fuck, Paul, Icky Hood, One Lega, I'm out, but I couldn't do that.
For me, it really depends, what the circumstances, right? Because if I'm traveling for work or networking or even for fun, my wife and I have an understanding, and I go through it with my kids. My kids are old enough to understand, daddy's going away for whatever. So we kind of make fun of it. So when I get here, I tour them through my hotel, we kind of make...
Oh, FaceTime and shit?
Yeah. So, they're also kind of excited when I travel because they get to see a new hotel room. But if I have something going on, my daughter's basketball season just ended. So, if this was during her basketball season and I had to come back to go watch her play or what have you, I think I'd be stressed and feel like the guilt you're talking about.
Right.
But because the expectations are already preset, and for instance, if it's this is real key networking opportunity that presented itself, I might have to change my flight. it's like there's a good reason for it. So I don't necessarily feel the guilt.
Yeah, I have the support at home. Like the support is always there, but that's just my own internal.
Yeah, I think it's
feeling of like wanting to be home. And
No, I
to,
get
you know,
it.
It's an individual thing. Like for me, this is all new. So these feelings are all completely new for me. I don't know how to feel about my feelings.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes any sense. So, and then, you know, like, I know that my girl, when she FaceTimes me, she just, you know, it's a positive thing. She wants me to connect with my daughter and whatever. But I almost feel like it's like a guilt trip too. Like, oh, damn.
Look at your daughter. Look what you left behind.
Yeah, like, you know. And I've always kind of thought like this, but even more now that I have a child, like I'm always like, but what if? What if something bad happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? Like I'm not, like I'm one of these like exaggerated thinkers that can think very vividly, and I could imagine like the plane went down, and all of a sudden my daughter's 30 years old, or she didn't have a daddy, she has daddy issues. Yeah,
The whole movie.
Oh, the movie played. I even scored the movie on the way there. So
No, I have a situation right now, actually, like Manny said, about being in season with your kid. My son has a game tomorrow night. You know, my daughter has practice.
sounds like you want to
tonight.
promote it. Like, is there like a website?
No, the thing is that I would be there involved.
Paul's very involved in this, all the sports.
I would be there
with his
involved, and
kids.
if I tell them,
I don't know where he finds the
And
time.
also for those that don't know, Paul has 6 kids. If you haven't listened to past
Yeah.
that.
I
And
got
Paul's
6
also
kids.
Icky Hood, One Lega, Dream Big Hip Hop,
So
Dream
I
Chance
tell my
Sports.
son I'll be there, I'll take you to practice. And then I'm not going, so I tell him, okay, let me call your coach to see if he can pick you up to take you to practice. He said, I already did it.
Who said this?
My son, I said, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I already sent a message to, I already text the coach if you can pick me up. And right there I said, damn. He don't even need me to organize his ride trips no more.
He trying to punk you right there.
He's independent. He's grown up.
I think he
I'm
thinks you're
missing that.
unreliable.
My consistency is straight, but it's just like this moment I would usually call the coach, and he was like, nah, I already called the coach. And I said, well, why you calling? It's my job. And he was like, no, I know you out of town. Damn.
That's good.
Right. But it's like, it's the beginning feelings for me. Like I have 6 kids, but it's my son, and you know, he's telling me this. Oh, all right.
So
now I gotta let him be a young man.
So like that's like a big sign for you of like independence.
Independence, this connect. You know, each kid you have that one-on-one bond, and then as they grow individually, they disconnect. My oldest, she's disconnected. She's a young adult. She ain't no joke. My second oldest, she's still connected. We still on that vibe, and then so forth, so on. So with that moment, I was like, oh, okay, so you went and took your business. All right, I'm gonna go cry in the corner, but I'm not gonna let you know. Good for you. And I let him just, you know, live on that decision, and I'm happy with it, and we keep it going.
But that's a great look.
Yeah. Walking into the building.
Paul went from all that.
Nah, don't be quiet. Don't be quiet.
Walking into the building.
You good. You good.
EFN, let them know who's here.
Yo, we got a good friend of ours, Crooked I, is in the building right now. King Crooked.
Yeah.
I think I keep telling you this every time I'm drinking a different drink.
Well, what are you drinking now?
I'm on beer right now.
All right, I'm Crooked Eye right now.
So, do you know about this podcast that I'm doing?
You told me about it somewhat. You know what I'm saying?
So we're fathers, and we just felt like there's a void within the hip hop community for us to be represented as fathers, you know.
Word up.
So we just talking shop basically about being fathers, you know.
Yeah, hip hop is at that age. Many fathers now.
Grandfathers.
Grandfathers.
Talking about being a grandfather on here.
Wow.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he sounded like a grandfather. No joke. Salute to him though. That's dope.
Yeah, shout out to Bun B, man. That's big bro right there. You know, he's one of the real ones in the game. You know what I mean? Like off camera and on camera. You know what I mean? Same dude, solid. Shout out to UGK, Pimp C forever.
And
Young Jimmy Yo,
Get up
the entrepreneur.
there,
Yeah, we doing what we do, man. Glad you guys are bringing something to the table for the fathers and showing a different side for hip hop.
Thank you for having us here, man.
No problem,
we
man.
appreciate you.
Welcome to Austin, Texas. You know,
So Jimmy, for those who don't know you, like tell us a little bit about yourself.
I have a company called My Executive Room. We help emerging artists. We got over 100 emerging artists that we're help developing, marketing, getting them where they need to be in their career. And then we work with a few A-list strategics to make sure that their creative expression is out there and they're in the right rooms. So you can't always be at the right place at the right time, but you can always be in the right room. you know. So I connected with
That pitch is
EFN.
It ain't an elevator pitch, but that shit is solid.
Yeah, that's how me and EFN met, man. We was building, and he taught me something called polite persistence, and that's got me to the next level.
Stuck with you, huh?
I'm here.
Politely annoying.
Now let me tell you, man, he's a stand-up dude. You know, there's not many stand-up people in this industry, at least that I've come across, and he's always been solid and in respect to you. And
Appreciate
for
you,
always
man.
being on point, persistent,
Yeah.
you know, and consistent. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man. Salute. Yeah.
As well as Crooked.
Yeah.
You know, hell of a dude, stand-up dude as well. You know, we had an opportunity to work together and do stuff, and just real solid people right here.
We were just before you guys walked in, we were just listening to EFN's album and the track that you was on, Crooked, and it was, I mean, we zoned out, like it got us right for
There you go.
what we're about to do right now.
Word up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was my pleasure, man. Thanks for the invite. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to spread the talent. You know, once I'm gone, and you know, on the other side, I want to make sure that there's nothing left in this physical body as far as talent. I want to use it while I'm on the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, thanks for that invite. You know what I mean? And if you got another one, shoot it my way.
Shit, we gonna do something.
You heard it here first.
All right, let's talk fatherhood stuff right now. So before you guys got here, we started talking about, so you know this whole thing with the flights, the Boeings, and they grounded them and stuff. So they grounded all the Boeing 737 Max, right?
737.
And our flights, my dog, we're going back to Miami. They canceled our flights.
Oh.
So what we're talking about is, you know, we travel a lot in this industry. What we do, how do we feel like? Do we feel guilty when we leave our families and either something happens unforeseen, like a canceled flight or something, or opportunity arises where you got to extend travel because, you know, something came up for business? Like, how do you feel leaving your family home? Do you feel some kind of guilt? Like, what's that for you guys?
I mean, for me, man, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we got to view everything as an opportunity and everything is meant to be.
Right.
So if the flight is canceled, you know what I mean? Even if it's not a good reason, I'm going to make one.
Right.
I don't focus on negativity, you know what I mean? I focus on positivity. So, and that translates in my household. You know what I'm saying? So, I've been a stranger to my kids forever. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm always
You're a
traveling,
world traveler.
and I've been doing this for 25. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Professionally, you know, since I was a
so they're used
teenager.
to it, basically.
So yeah, they're used to it, and you know, it's just that you gotta come back when you do have time, and you gotta really focus and pour that quality time into your children, because you miss a lot. I missed a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it used to haunt me. I used to feel guilty about all the time, but they're at the point now where they understand that the time is being spent for their, you know what I'm saying, benefit. And they know that, you know, sometimes you got different households where the parents are out all the time working, and then the children despise the parents and say, well, hey, you were never in my life, and, you know. And then you got the ones where the parents sit at the crib the whole time, and they say, you wouldn't work for us, and we were poor, you know what I'm saying? So you can't win. You feel me? So knowing that, you know, that's science. You know, I just try to make sure that I give them details. Sometimes I tell them things that I don't have to. You know what I mean? But I just share the information with them so they can understand that, okay, this is why this is happening. This is why he's gone this long. This is why I haven't heard from him. This is why, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, as grown men, we feel like, all right, I told you I'm gone. I'm gone. I'll see you when I get back. You know what I'm saying? But I think you got to, it's communication run the nation, man. That's just basically what it is. And, you know, I've been blessed to have 3 children that really understand that, 2 daughters and a son. And, you know, they want me to keep rocking. And now that, you know, social media is what it is, they feel like they with me half the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How big, and Jimmy, I want to get your perspective as well, but like, how big is, because we talk about this with everybody that's been on the show so far, and it's been like a common theme, like FaceTime or like, you know, these chats that you can do
They're
video
using
chats.
technology to stay in touch.
Yeah, like how big has that been in your connection with your kids? Because I personally, when I'm traveling, like that helps a whole lot. Like I miss my kids and my family, but like there is, I mean, as virtual as that shit is, there is still a connection through that, you know, medium.
I think it's a duality still. right? Because you could be in the elevator going to listen to an unreleased album from a legacy artist, and your kid FaceTimes. And the elevator could be bad, or it's just the wrong time.
Right.
And to hit that decline button on your kid. You see what I'm saying? So I used to try the FaceTime, and I thought it was valuable, which it is, but sometimes when you're in that moment, when you got to make that decision, I still don't know how to overcome that.
That's real. I felt that today. FaceTime. I have a young 10-month baby, so hitting, decline, I feel some kind of way, like, I don't decline my kid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's all on the first kid. On the second, third, fourth, fifth kid.
I declined your ass today. You catch that?
I'm going to text you later.
Yeah, this guy, not everybody has 6 kids. Relax, buddy.
I got 5 and a stepson.
Impossible?
For about 18 years. But anyway, when they call,
I like the fact that social media, what it's done, because it created a different relationship between me and my kids, especially my older daughter. You know what I'm saying? Because, I get to see her humorous side more. You know what I mean? She sent me all these, memes and stuff in my DMs. You know what I mean? Like the 10 snack commandments. Y'all saw that?
Sounds dope.
Yeah, you got to peep that. She was going in on that. But, it's kind of dope to see the growth and the different sides, It's fresh, man. I'm glad it's a way to stay connected. You know what I'm saying? It's a definite way to stay connected.
Here's another reoccurring topic that we have, and it goes back to music. And how do you guys handle the filtering, or do you filter the lyrics or the content of music that your kids are listening to? And it's been a mixed bag for we go back and forth on we want our kids to enjoy the music.
Like Angie Martinez doesn't give a fuck. She just plays whatever.
Right. How do you guys feel about that?
You gotta reach a certain age limit in my house before you hear records with profanity on them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that comes from me trying to raise my kids the totally opposite of how I was raised. Not to say that my mom's let me do it, but she was a single mom.
Different circumstances.
And it was a lot of boys in the house, and she couldn't keep her eyes on everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, we was under the poverty line, so everything was hood, everything was street, everything was, what they were talking about on the records is that we saw it anyway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we could have played, Fresh Prince all day. We could have played, G-rated rap music, and then as soon as we walk outside, everybody gangbanging, slinging dope, pimping. You know what I mean? So it ain't. Our reality was realer than the records. You see what I'm saying?
That's a bar right there.
Yeah. So I figured, I ain't move y'all into this nice, quiet neighborhood for nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want you to keep your head right. I want you to keep your head in the books. I want you to be sharp. I want you to be smart. I want you to be the best version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I don't allow it. You know what I'm saying? When that sticker, that's for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And
so it was your music as well.
Yeah. I turn it up like, nah, you're not playing that right now. You know what I'm saying? Grown folks talking, you feel me? I don't know.
What's your age threshold?
16 at least. Yeah. If for the girls, I'm like 18, 20, you know what I'm saying? And I know that's a double standard, you know what I'm saying?
Specific with that shit.
But it is so sexual. I mean, the music is super sexual.
And hip hop is like, you can't deny what happens.
Middle schoolers are listening to everything. It's just,
but they can hear it from their friends, but it doesn't have to be the parents exposing them to it.
And that's what it is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you talking to somebody who had kids as a kid. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, even though I got daughters in college, when they come home, they know just from hey, turn that off. My pops is right here. You know what I'm saying? They friend come through or something like that. They got that respect. You feel me? So I believe that was built from, establishing that. Now, I got homies who don't care. They 5-year-old in the back seat. They bumping all kinds of shit. You feel me? And I just hope that those kids and those households and those parents understand how to separate the lyrics from and the profanity from real life, and you know what I mean, and they not really too impressionable by the music, because you know from the age 1 to 7 what we learn is what's gonna stick with us for the rest of our life, and it's gonna affect us as adults. So we got to be very careful what we pour into the kids' heads from that age.
Yeah,
you know
you're
what
not
I'm saying?
having a convo about the context of what's really happening with the songs. Then
There's no context conversation. He called her a bitch because the bitch.
So what happened was she was a bitch.
She lined the homie up.
So I got a question for everybody. Just more on the artist and the public figure side. How do you keep your kids away from the spotlight? For instance, you got Jay-Z. We all know what Blue Ivy looks like, what the twins look like. But J. Cole, I believe, had a kid,
And he's
right?
keeping it
And
low-key.
like, how do you filter that? How do you keep that away? What's the effects? What's the impact? You just had a kid.
Yeah, I would say, first of all, luckily, we're not at the height of Jay-Z and J. Cole. I don't have to worry about that. I mean, you know, I'm not big, though, in general, on social media and putting my kid out there like that. That's me personally. You know, every so often I might do it, you know, like just because maybe I'm just in a mood that I'll do, like, I'll post something that has to do with my daughter.
Yeah.
But generally, I don't do it. My girl, she's more on like posting a lot on social media, but she's not necessarily in the public eye. She's not, you know, in entertainment. So her view is friends and family follow me. I'm updating them on, you know, my life and my daughter. So.
Which brings me to the next point. How about when you have like a Khaled with a side?
Right.
You know, is he setting up his future, the legacy, maybe getting an extra $100K or so to bring the kid through a walkthrough.
Yeah,
There's so many different labels.
About Cal because he's the homie from Miami and he hasn't come on Drink Champs, and if I keep talking shit, he'll never come on Drink Champs. But I definitely am worried for his son. Like, I hope and I'm imagining that not only are they setting up his financial future through all these endeavors using social media, but hopefully they're also gonna look into psychological, you know, ways of making sure he understands, because do you know what that is for that kid to
Like the child star.
Yeah,
Right.
They all fail. They all have issues in life. So I'm hoping that they're thinking that through as well. You know, like it's just reality.
So Crooked just brought up something that I always struggle with, and again, I'm nowhere near star, you know, caliber, right? But still, I'm very cautious of what I put out there about my family. And there's so many things that go through your head. It's like, yo, I tend not to put location, or if I do it after the fact. Because, like, if I'm away from home, in my head, so I'm from the Bronx, so I'm always like surveying and thinking there's some shit going down. So I'm always like, all right, if I'm gonna put a location, I'm gonna make sure it's like kind of scattered, so people don't really understand what's happening, because I'm putting people at risk potentially. So I'm very cautious about it. But in the same vein, to like your girl's point, K-E. We have a lot of family that follows us, and a lot of my family doesn't live in this country. So it is a quick way for them to kind of keep tabs on what my family is doing. But if I'm in a position like Crooked, for instance, I'm probably gonna be super conservative about how I approach things.
Yeah, that's real, dude. Like I mean, you know, thankfully my daughters, they like, nah, we don't want none of that. We don't want none of that. Your fans coming over, you know, why did he do this and why didn't he, or tell him to drop this kind of, you know what I'm saying? So they don't even want to be involved, and that's great because, so they can, you know, I could keep that kind of personal and still have something that, you know, is personal to me, you know what I'm saying? And then I don't know about my son, though. He look like he want to get jiggy out there, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but yeah, I feel you on that, you know, dropping locations and, you know, innocent things that families do. Hey, we're at El Torito eating, you know, drop the location. The next thing you know, you go out in the parking lot and it's a private party waiting on you, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel the hell out of what you were saying, yeah.
I'm the extreme where I don't have any social media.
He doesn't even let us post his picture for this podcast.
I don't have any social media. I don't want to be on social media.
Why is that, bro?
I like to stay private. You know what I mean? So
right.
for me, and especially with my kids, it's like my kid. Rather, it's if I don't know you, you're not gonna get a picture of my kid.
Right. No, I feel you.
Basically, what it boils
Hey, I
down
know
to.
you, and I don't got a picture of your kid, dog.
Hey, that's real talk,
So
though.
that's just how I feel. That's how I maneuver. And for me, me personally, I don't know. When I look at social media, I walk away feeling kind of, I don't feel so great.
It's
Yeah.
anti-social media.
Right.
Yeah, so I just, I feel like it takes a lot of time away from other things that I could be doing and stuff. So
Right.
that's just my.
But I'm big on energy, so I feel you like that. And I got daughters, so I don't want to be posting something and somebody say something disrespectful in the comments. The comments were made for disrespect. You feel me?
The cyber thugging is crazy.
Man, dog, and now I'm
And
feeling
it's senseless. Like shit that you just don't even know why this person even took the time out of
of
their
their
day to write
day.
some crazy shit. Like, really, bro?
Just think of the amount of time it takes to just write a nonsense comment. I mean, you could be doing something way better.
You could have thought a way iller thought. You know what I'm saying? An idea than to come and fuck with me on my page. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even, man. So I definitely don't want that for my children.
Right.
And when they hurt, I hurt. So I don't want them to have to, man, I'm
You hurt
just
more
glad.
when it's that,
Right.
Like, you just,
Yeah, now you ready to pull up like Mano, you know what I'm saying? When he pulled up on homegirl at the damn T-Mobile or something.
We
Yeah.
also have a certain amount of time. Like, look, our kids are going to have more than enough time to
Right.
deal with all kinds of fuckery, right?
Right.
So we have a limited amount of time when they're younger to shelter and protect them as much as we want to, right? Without exposing them to too much, because again, they're going to have the rest of their lives.
Well, the
to do
unfortunate
all
part
that stuff.
for our kids, and we're all close to age, is that we grew up in a time without social media, so
Right.
we get it in a different way.
Yeah.
Where everybody growing up now, it's just that.
It's just that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like their second reality.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Facebook, all that, yeah. Damn. I couldn't imagine what it's like to, grow up on, say, social media. Like you could go right now and look at your baby pictures almost and be like in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Like Facebook,
Go to
like,
MySpace and all that
remember
type of
when
shit.
you were 7 years
It's
old?
not going anywhere.
That's not going nowhere.
Not going anywhere.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a trip.
So you said a couple of daughters in college.
Yeah.
How is that? And you mentioned also that they don't necessarily want to be involved in
Right.
your star, power, I guess. How do they avoid it? Like, and I know you're not really out in the open about it. Like,
Yeah.
you're similar to how I look at things
Right.
as far as conservatism goes. But like, how do you avoid not associating yourself with your daughters and them with you?
They like, Dad, I ain't even following you, man. And if they do, they'll just drop me like, a comment, a inside joke, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
People don't even know, that's my daughter messing with me, they just think somebody cracking jokes on me, you know what I'm saying? But they and it's not their world. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're into stuff like helping other at-risk youth, and, they're into, donating time at the Y, and you know what I'm saying? Like, they're into to doing great things at a young age, you know what I mean? So they're not wrapped up in that world. If they were wrapped up in that world, they'd be like that. Because I had an offer from somebody, at one of the producers from Love and Hip Hop wanted me to do the Love and Hip Hop show, and my daughters was like, "Oh heck no, man! Oh no, man! You just have cameras in here? You know what I'm saying?" So I like that. You know what I'm saying?
You got some great kids. Yeah. The kids will be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the shit at school.
Yeah, my IG followers.
Yeah, he's about to get crazy.
Kids looking up to the Kardashians, and as that's like the role models for how to function in life and getting followers and make money, and they think that's it. The end all be all is that.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, how can you not? Kylie like a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
Like that's an enormous amount of pressure on a young girl to see
absolutely.
this person become a billionaire, basically like how she became one, which is I don't know how the fuck she became.
So we know how it's kind of started.
Yeah, Ray J hit it first.
So speaking of fatherhood, what fatherhood translates to me is leadership.
Right.
And something I commend Crooked Eye about is just his leadership and just his family.
Good looking, bro.
We've been on his journey music-wise, and he's been telling me about his brothers. They actually put a group together, rebranded, and they called themselves Family Business. And I was able to ask him why, and started digging deep. And he was talking how they was younger, how he educated them through music, showing them the ropes, teaching them different things. And I feel like it takes a tribe to raise a child, but most importantly, the family, the household. So when you guys was mentioning the effects of being in a different city, going to a different show, he has brothers that are ill MCs, like incredible MCs, and he may be getting a look somewhere, and he may come home, and it may have a certain effect, right? And at the point he's at in his career, passing the torch down and creating a platform for his brothers, I'm anxious to figure out how does that feel as a leader with your family, like in a fatherhood perspective on the music side for your brothers. How does that feel when you can turn around, create opportunities, and this time bring them along for the same press runs, the same events, shaking hands, meeting the big homies like EFN and the team?
Feel great, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We grew up like I said, we grew up in a single mother home, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we had a couple different fathers that did the same thing, basically, you know, and bounced out. It happens. And, you know, hip-hop raised us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of knowledge that came from hip-hop. I mean, we didn't have father figures in the house. We had street father figures outside.
It's like hip-hop,
you know
was
what I'm saying?
like our father.
Yeah, you better believe it. Yeah.
Single mother as well.
Man, dog, I could tell you the things I learned from hip-hop, you know what I mean, that I didn't know. Like, yo, what? KRS-One said, what? Let me go look that up. You know what I'm saying? What Rakim talk about? I'm God. I didn't even know what a 5%er was at that time. You know what I'm saying? So,
And back then,
superheroes.
you were cracking open the encyclopedia. And
you better believe it.
You weren't Googling nothing.
And now they don't even want to do it, and it's easy as hell. I'm like, I had to go to the library, help me. But yeah, it feels good to bring. You know, I'm really big on you know, the universal laws. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really big on thoughts becoming things. You know what I'm saying? And I had a couple ideas, and one of them was to, you know, become a new brand with my brothers. Do a project, you know what I mean? Bring them to the table, let them enjoy all the things that I've enjoyed in this game, you know, as I evolve and go elsewhere, you know, let them do their thing, you know what I'm saying? And to see it come, you know, to become a reality right now. We are South by Southwest. I'm here with you guys, you know what I mean? We got our first Crooks Corner, which is another idea of mine that's coming to life right now, where we just engage with the hip-hop community. We're doing a venue tonight, you know what I'm saying, to launch it. And it's just, it feels good, because we came from nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a song lyric, you know what I mean? We can't, it's facts. And, you know, now we here, man, and we moving forward. It's a great feeling, man. And, you know, those are my daughters and my son's uncles. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it goes back to fatherhood. Their prosperity is my children's prosperity, and you know what I'm saying? And
it's creating that family environment, man, that a lot of us had.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You maintaining that, and that's positive for your kids as well.
Yes, sir.
Do your kids know the background that I mean, have they been able to experience firsthand at all where you came from versus where they are in their lives?
Not really, because they were very young when we were, you know, struggling. You know what I'm saying? They were too young to remember. The first thing they remember is, you know, a better house, a better situation, a better everything. Right. You know what I'm saying? But they hear the stories. Right. You know what I'm saying? And now I start to feel like all those cliche fathers. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we walked to school for miles. You know what I'm saying? Like all those.
Yo, they be clowning me. My kids know me already. When I be like, listen, let me tell you something. That right there, that's the intro to when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So when I say, listen, everybody, let me tell you something, they go, oh, shit.
Here we go.
And I got.
We don't want to hear that.
I got 22 all the way down to 9-year-old kids.
Right.
So they all look at me like this, and I'm about to talk some others. I took them all to New Jersey one day for a childhood tour. We realized that we realized that my 5-mile walk in the snow with penny loafers on was really a block and a half.
You gave him the proof?
He got debunked.
Oh, you got debunked, homie.
Daddy, you off the block. I said, listen, it's 4 blocks, all right? It's 4 blocks.
Nah, it was way back there.
Yo, they get me. They gave me, and I laugh at it now. I said,
You just gave me a jewel, man. I'm never taking them back to none of those stories I got about 20-mile walks. Y'all, I ain't taking y'all over there.
He's like, we lived in a shack, and they see a big ass.
They just think I'm fucking crazy, bro. Like, and it's just funny to me because you know how time passes, the world becomes more sensitive to certain things, and you know certain things become more politically incorrect. And you know when I'm at the crib, I'm just at the crib, and I say something, and they're like, Dad, you can't say that. You know? And it's like, what do you mean I can't say that? I grew the fuck up saying that. You know what I'm saying? So they just think I'm a nut, man. But it's all good.
but you're a daddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Other people say they don't have one, don't see one, they know one, or there's a crackhead.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, my daddy works hard. He's a square. He works 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. Or my dad is an entertainer. My daddy, whatever.
Yeah.
But they can say, yo, he's crazy, but that's my dad.
That's my
They say that to EFN about me.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
EFN my daughter's godfather.
Okay.
Right? They be like, yeah, we know daddy's a little crazy.
I just be looking at them like, your dad. They be like,
Keep that reputation, man.
So, Crooked, in your case, right, you mentioned you grew up without a father.
Right.
And you had, like, people that came into the picture and came in and out. Mm-hmm. But are you the oldest brother?
I have a brother, an older brother, one older brother, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he part of that group that you
Nah, he's doing his, he's actually doing a radio show. I mean, we're all into music. We come from a musical family. My mom used to sing, you know what I'm saying? And she was like the background singer for the Gap Band and different shit like that. So, and she wrote her own music. She had her own record deal, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, she had us, and it was game over. You know, so we kind of owe it to her to try to do something around this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But, it was musical family. My older brother, he's chilling, you know what I'm saying? He gave us a lot of direction, too. He was really out there in the streets, even crazier than everybody else, though. You know, he's a chill dude now, but... We learned from older brother how to survive, you know what I'm saying, the block. And, you know, everybody played their position to get us to where we are now. And now, you know, I think everybody got their heads on right, and we just focus on trying to help the family grow.
Right.
I asked that because typically in a household of that nature, the oldest brother typically is like the father, the de facto dad. You know?
Right.
Or one of the older
right.
in the house. And so it seemed, just from you describing like how, you know, your ascent and how you're working with your brothers to get into the brand, it felt to me like you were kind of that older brother almost in that.
Yeah, I mean, I took on the responsibility because I felt like, you know what, we getting out of this. Whatever this is, we leaving this shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm always on that mission. You know what I mean? And that trickles down to my cousins. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how I am. I'm a people person. I'm not a big on individualism. I'm big on groupism. And I want to see everybody do well. So, you know, it's just one of those things where I'm down to grind and spend my energy and time trying to make sure everybody else straight. You know what I'm saying?
Here's something we were talking about last night. This conversation we had yesterday.
Was I drunk? Because I mean, I remember.
EFN in a cup.
EFN in a cup. He's a very intellectual.
So basically it goes back to, I think it's safe to say we're all here materializing a better life or a more stable life for our kids than we all have.
Right.
More so materially and also just, you know, more a stable household type thing.
Right.
You were talking about questioning, like, how do you cut off at a certain point from like wanting to give your kids everything they want so that they're not get spoiled?
Oh yeah.
I know you're having a thought on that. What's your thought on that in terms of just like how do you you want to give your kids the things that you maybe didn't have, or you want to please them, but also you gotta, how do you strike that balance? And when do you strike that balance of like?
Well, I learned a lot, man. I learned that sometimes giving them what they want, then they'll turn around and say, "Why did you give me that?" You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, I try to listen. It is a balance, and certain things they need to experience. You see what I mean? Like, Like, you know, you in a dorm room and you want to try to squeeze an expensive couch up in there, and there's no fucking reason to do it,
Right.
you know, then you're going to have to go work for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's not a necessity.
Right.
You feel me? And you might not like that answer, but that's the answer you're going to get because I want you to experience working for it, squeezing it in there, and figuring out that you didn't never need it in the first place.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I can't tell you that. And that's the thing about parenting, man. It's so hard because we want to tell our kids, we want to give them the road map.
Yep.
Like we've been there before.
Right.
You go down this street, you turn down that street, you go down this street, and you're there.
Right.
And no matter how much we do that, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
They have to experience the journey on their own. So, and experience gives them a certain personal education that us drilling it into their heads is not going to give them. So I want them to experience certain things. So I think that it's like you said, just to balance it out and you know, reward hard work, you know, encourage them if they got some kind of dream to do something that costs, you know, money. You have to provide financially for that, you know, to get them started. That's cool, you know what I'm saying? But just giving them anything they want. I went through a phase where I gave my kids a whole lot of stuff, and
They wanted more.
later on, when they were talking, I was like, hey, I used to give y'all this and this and this and that. And we didn't ask for that. Okay, so you know what? Don't get that one.
So when you want that Lambo, we're gonna have a serious conversation.
Ooh, that Lambo. Nah, we burning Gucci already. I don't know if we gonna get to the Lambo.
It definitely is a difference when we know that we have it to give,
Right.
and we control how we give it.
Right.
Versus like when we was kid, I remember like I was crying to my mom like I want this motherfucking transformer, like buy me this shit. And my mom, I know she had a decision: do you eat today,
Right.
or I buy you this fucking transformer?
Right.
You know,
Right.
I didn't understand that as a kid.
Right.
But the difference is nowadays we can just it's like a safety, like we can control it, knowing we can give it to them.
Right.
But do we want to like?
Yeah, is it good for them? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it in the first place? You know what I mean?
What's the value that they're gonna get out of it? So we
Absolutely.
were talking in our last episode. We were talking about how financial literacy plays a part in in the development of ourselves, but also passing down to our kids. Right?
AKA we lacked any.
Right, and we still every day we learning how to be more financially
Paul,
literate.
that's nice. He was
Right.
So, like for us, it's a constant conversation. It's one that we're going to continue on this podcast. But I'm curious, in your side, how do you look at financial literacy? How does that play a part in how you parented and developed your children?
Well, it took me a long time because I had to get to a certain place myself before I could even be that example. You know what I mean? I messed up a lot of bread. You know what I'm saying? I got in the game. I got blessed as far as getting major deals go. Got my first major deal, I was like 19. See what I'm saying? It didn't last long, but they gave me a big advance, more money than I ever seen before. So, I tricked off a lot of bread, man. And, I made, even when I started thinking I was smart about my money, I made some bad investments. You see what I mean? That embarrassing numbers that you don't want to even talk about. So, when it comes to financial education, I think that hip hop, and I want to create something, man. Maybe, I don't know. We could talk about some stuff, but I want to create something that attaches more financial educators to the culture.
Yeah, we need that.
Because we have so much respect and admiration for super producers from the culture, super MCs from the culture, even certain executives. But we have some heroes that are not getting light.
Yeah.
You got Dr. Boyce Watkins. You got, Dr. George C. Fraser. You got Michael V. Roberts, who's a billionaire who writes books about financial literacy, who came from nothing and now he's a billionaire. Right. You know what I'm saying? These dudes need to be stars in the culture too, because they're offering their time and wisdom and energy, and you go to the seminars and you don't really see hip hop. Right. You see people, all ready to learn, that's great. Let's get that. But I don't see hip hop.
And then if they're going to be stars, then you're going to have more kids looking up to them and saying,
Right.
well, I don't have to be just a rapper or an entertainer or anything else. Like
Exactly.
I can aspire to be like this person.
Like this person,
Yeah.
and that trickles down. You know, we know the impact hip hop has.
Right.
So imagine if some of these guys became big shining stars in the game, and young people looked up to their financial moves and their suggestions and advice and all that kind of stuff. You know what that would do? That would trickle, man.
The empowerment would be crazy.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah,
man.
because we were talking last night, again, financial literacy, the idea of wealth versus making a lot of money for short-term purposes, you know, at least me, I didn't quite get the idea of wealth until later on down the line. Now that I have a kid, I'm playing catch
And what
up,
is
like,
wealth?
fuck,
Like,
yeah.
we have a false idea. That's the other thing we're saying, what wealth is.
Right.
Wealth could be you're a billionaire, but wealth could be you just own your fucking crib.
Right. I think we summed it.
That's wealth.
I think we
Yeah.
summed it, yeah, we
You can
summed
own
it
an
up as-
apartment.
Yeah.
At least there's a fucking roof over your head that you don't have to worry about.
What do we sum it up as? Stability, right?
Stability,
That you can
yeah.
pass on
Financial
to-
freedom.
that you can
Thanks
pass
a
on
lot,
to-
Paul.
Well, there's a guy who wrote a book called The Everyday Millionaire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he kind of broke down in that book how it's way more millionaires than we think, especially if you count assets.
Yeah.
Right.
And some of these people just worked a regular job. You know what I mean? And retired, bought property. Now you put the property together with whatever they did with their retirement fund, and they're millionaires. And they're all over the country. You know, and they're next to you shopping, and they're next to you. You know what I mean? So I think we also got to try to reshape that mental picture we got in hip hop of what a millionaire looks like.
Right.
Yeah, because in hip hop, it's all gold chains and all.
No,
sorts of
hip hop
stuff.
perverts that. Like,
Right.
you know, we actually, you're spending your money. You're throwing away your wealth.
Yeah.
And trying to preserve an idea of what you look like to people out there.
So how do you take that to the kids so they could be financial literate? You know, as an example, like how that's where we at now. To give that to our kids so they could be financial literate.
What he's saying, put these people in a position where these kids can see them. Yeah. And we got to talk about it more. Like, we really have to talk about this more. And it's not even just the kids. I feel like the pioneers in hip hop, all of us that are still working, need to do something to help them as well, you know?
Yeah. And we got to stop being so greedy and stingy with information, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to the Bay, man, and I seen some hip hop guys up there in Silicon Valley, and they tiptoeing and shh, don't tell nobody we here. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, this is something, yeah. People need to see
It's also
this.
street mentality where it's like you don't want nobody to know where you're getting your bag at. You know, like, oh,
Right. Don't tell. Yeah,
don't share the bag, don't
but
share
my
the
thing
bag.
is, if you don't want nobody to know where you getting your bag at, then stop posting your Forbes list and all that. You know what I'm saying? We know you got the bag. You know what I'm saying? So let's start sharing information more, man. It's enough in the game for everybody, man. That mentality to me is a poor mindset.
Yeah, totally.
When you
it's
think
crabs in the barrel type of mentality.
that is not it's enough.
Right.
It's enough for it's plenty, man. Just
But I mean, it's similar. Like, everybody wants to be a rapper, for example,
Right.
And there's a process to being a rapper, but you got to bust your ass. And not only do you have to bust your ass, but you got to be nice, to really break through and do your thing. So all that says is, in anything, there has to be a solid plan of execution and consistency for you to achieve whatever.
Right.
So just because the information is shared, like, don't hoard the information.
Yeah.
Make it available and let those that are the best at it rise to the top. And do their thing.
Yeah, because 90% of the people are not going to even use it. So you don't have nothing to worry about if you think your market and your lane is going to get crowded. 90% of the people are not going to even use it. They're going to listen to you say, oh, word, and they're going to keep moving.
And
you know what I'm
and
saying?
You see it in tech all the time. It's like, all right, so some people figured out this lane.
Yeah.
That just opens up opportunity for other people, because now there's a derivative that somebody thinks, oh shit, they did Uber, for example, right? Oh shit, these fucking Lime scooters now can offer basically the Uber platform. Like, there's always going to be something. There's got to be a leg up, but the information needs to be spread.
Yeah, I just, and plus the example, you know, like, you see these brothers and sisters getting raped for their publishing, and you know what I'm saying, their record deals are bad, and you know, hey man, when they get that little bag, let them know about this little investment that you did. It might inspire them to call somebody and say, well, hey, man, what can I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to look out for each other if it's really going to be a community. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Well, I hope, thanks first of all for coming on.
Oh, man, thanks for having me, bro.
We probably get out of here because they're about to turn up a fucking
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
showcase.
my man said they got to be nice, and I don't know what I'm hearing coming from over here. You know what I'm saying?
But I hope you'll join us again, at least via phone or whatever.
Yes, sir.
And let's just keep this conversation going. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes,
you're
sir.
leading by example, and we appreciate that.
And thank you guys for putting this together, man, because, they try to make us feel bad as we get older in hip-hop.
Nah.
I don't feel bad, goddammit. I feel
That's
good.
why I don't use
Fuck
Beijing.
y'all.
No Beijing. Hashtag no Beijing.
No, man.
No, we ink beard.